guys, and welcome to the episode of One Pod Life. Today we have Rachael Goddall. How you doing, Rachael?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, getting there. Well, obviously coming to the end of lockdown, obviously this might go out about a couple of days after or before. But no, yeah, coming out of it now, and obviously can't wait to be able to actually mingle a little bit with not so many people, but we'll get there.
Yeah, can't wait to play golf.
Yeah, exactly. There's only so much stuff you can do in the garden, right?
Yeah, no, you're very limited.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you for coming on the podcast and just giving a bit of insight into yourself and your journey. So let's start from the very beginning. So how old were you when you started playing golf?
I was 4 when I first started playing, so very young.
Okay. And how did you get into golf?
My dad used to go and practice at a driving range when I was 4, and I used to go and watch, and I begged him to let me have a go, and eventually he gave in, and I've played ever since.
Oh, great stuff. Why was he a bit reluctant in the first place?
I think it's because I was just so young. Okay. And he was like, oh no, we'll wait a little bit, but mind moaning, and it got to him eventually, and he let me have a go. It
was a good decision though, wasn't it, in the end?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, good stuff. Well, obviously the best thing, for most professional golfers, you find they do start at that sort of age. So you pushing was actually a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think even nowadays, especially, like they're starting younger and younger. Like Tiger Woods, I think he was 2 or something when he started. Yeah. And you just see all the little kids, and it's good. Because I remember when I was younger, it was for young girls back then, it was really unusual for someone to start at 4. But now it's all the time. You see it all the time.
No, exactly. It's good. I wish I started when I was 4. and not 34.
Well, it's never too late to play golf.
No, exactly. Okay, so at 4 years old, you was at the driving range with your dad. What sort of things did you get up to when you was down there with him?
I think I went to junior coaching classes. Okay. I started doing that every Saturday. So I was just hit balls on the range pretty much, because when I was younger, no golf club would let me join. And I think I was 8 when I first joined a golf club. And that was the youngest age then. Wow. As to when you can join. So, but I started playing for Cheshire, my county, when I was 6 though. So they were kind of you really need to join a golf club if you want to play Rapers properly. So yeah, I would just do that.
Okay, and whereabouts are you based, or where was you based when you was younger?
I'm from the Wirral, so not far from Liverpool. My first ever golf club was called Ribeira Ladies, and it's not just a ladies club. That was just what it was called. Okay. So I played there when I first started off, and now I've moved. I play at Heswell Golf Club, so not the same sort of area.
Okay, great stuff. So talk me through the younger years, and how did you get to? Did you obviously joined the golf club, and then what happened from there?
Yeah, I joined my golf club. Played for my county from a very young age, and eventually got selected to do England squad training. The younger ages. I think it was called. We used to have younger squads, and you progress through the squads. And then I had some successes when I was younger, and eventually just made my way through the ranks until I eventually turned pro. Good
stuff. And obviously you turned pro in 2014, am I correct?
Yeah, that was my first full year. Yeah.
Okay. How old was you then?
I was 23.
Okay, good. So, okay. And what was the reason for you turning pro when you got to 2014? Was it a concession of sort of successes and wins, or did you just feel that the time was right to turn pro?
And I'd done everything that I wanted to do. I had some wins. I thought if I'm ever going to do it, it was now, because I think the year before I turned pro, I was really consistent. And the British, I finished top 6, the same with the Scottish Open and the English. So I was like, well, I think I'm playing well enough to get my card, so I just went for it in that year.
Good stuff. And was that all the stuff you wanted to achieve before you turned pro, or was there other things on that list?
The only thing I didn't do was play Curtis Cup. So, and that I would have to have waited 2 years, I think, at that point. And I was like, I'm just ready to go out there and turn pro. So I just went for it.
Fair enough. Okay. So when you turned pro, did you go to any Q school, or what was the process of you turning pro?
Well, just before I turned pro, I got an invite into an LET Access event at Stoke-by-Nayland. And I was kind of debating at that point whether I should turn pro for that event, because I knew at the end of that year, that was it. I was going to turn pro.
Okay.
But I stayed as an amateur, and I think I played really well. I was like, oh no, I should have turned pro.
Yeah.
But so I had a good finish there, and then I went to Q School, and I finished 4th in the pre-qualifier.
Okay.
And then I got through to final qualifying in Morocco. And I got really ill, so I had to pull out. So I was like, oh no. So I played LET Access from then on in for the rest of that next few years, yeah.
No, good stuff. And since then, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I've been wrong quite a few times when I say this, but I see you've had 3 wins.
Yeah.
I've
had. Yeah, you did. Yeah, 2 on the LET Access and 1 on the Santander Tour.
No, good. I've just picked out the 2 on the LET Access. One was the Turfman Alarium Open in 2018.
Yeah.
And the other one was the Ribeira, I won't say the full name because I won't be able to pronounce it.
Yeah, I don't even know how to say the full name.
That was the International Ladies Open in 2019, where you actually went and broke the course record and shot a 61.
Yeah.
Now, talk me through that experience. Because didn't you start with a bogey as well?
I did.
Yep.
I started with a bogey, and then I actually had no idea how many under I'd shot. I was playing with one of my good friends from Switzerland, and I noticed that she was talking to me a lot.
Okay.
And we always talk a lot, obviously, but I was like, I think it was just so she knew how well I was doing, and she wanted to keep me going and not think about my score. And it definitely worked, because when they showed me the scorecard in the scorer's hut, and they said, "Oh, you've come back," and I think it was 28. I was like,
right.
I didn't come back in 28. But yeah, I think, when you get in a zone, and like you just hold, I didn't even hold like really long putts. I was just hitting it quite close all the time. And I think I missed a birdie putt from 3 foot as well on one of the par 3s. So yeah. So
looking back with hindsight, it could have been a 60.
It could have, and then if I hadn't bogeyed the first, then it could have been a 59. That's what was going through my head. I was like, oh my God.
So, okay, let's sort of look back at that round. You said that you had no idea what your score was. Is that intentional? Did you do that on purpose? You don't ask. Obviously, did you have a caddy at the time? And if you did, were they keeping you out of the loop of what you were scoring, or was it that's just how you play?
No, I didn't have a caddy, and I usually always know my score.
Okay.
But I'd lost track of how many birdies I had.
Right, okay.
I had no idea. So I made quite a lot in a row, I think, and I just lost count, if I'm honest.
I mean, how can you lose track of how many birdies you made is crazy.
I know it sounds ridiculous, but honestly, I think I was just so in the zone as well that I just stopped thinking about my score, which has never happened to me before.
No. Have you tried to do that since?
No, it's not happened since. I mean, I had another low score, I think, in Germany. I think it was 65 or something. Okay. But I knew how many under I was then, so it wasn't quite the same.
Didn't have the same effect as the previous one.
No.
Well, I think, hands off to you shooting 61. I think I'll ever get that close to that low anyway in my career, but we'll see how we get. But
yeah,
fantastic.
You never know.
Well done.
Thanks.
That's right. So if you could look, out of the 3 wins that you've had, which one would you say is your favourite one?
Obviously, the first one in Sweden, that was really special because that was my first ever one.
Okay.
But I think the fact that in Spain, when I shot 61, and it was kind of, it was the first time I'd gone into the final round leading. So I'd never experienced that before. And so the fact that I actually went on to win, that was more special to me than to know that I could do it in that position. Get
it over the line sort of thing.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, because that 61 was in the last round of the tournament. So
no, it was in the second round.
Sorry, it was in the second round. Sorry. Okay, sorry.
That's fine.
that screws up my question then. No, okay. I'll rephrase it. So obviously, going into the 4th round, then you were leading. What was your thought process on the day? Did you just think, right, I'm going to go out and enjoy myself, or did you? Obviously, you didn't keep your score, but did you think, right, I need to shoot this much to make sure I win? Or what was your thought process that day?
Well, because I knew you could make birdies on that course, and I was only 2 shots in the lead, I think, over an Italian girl.
Yep.
I just wanted to make sure, just keep making birdies. and make sure I stayed ahead of her, kind of thing. Because I think we both shot 68 in the final round, so it was actually quite tight. And the fact that I was playing with her was quite good, because we kept each other going.
Yeah.
So I just played my normal game, like quite aggressive, and it worked.
Good stuff. Okay. I also read that you obviously managed to qualify for the Women's British Open in 2018. What was that your first sort of major tournament that you played in? Yeah,
I did. It was pretty cool because earlier that year I played in US Open qualifying, and I was second reserve at the qualifying, and I'd actually bogeyed the last, otherwise I would have been in the US Open, and I didn't know that's what it was for. I honestly didn't think I was in it. I didn't realize, because I think Katrina Matthew and Melissa Reid were in second and third, and I was tied with Melissa Reid going to the final hole.
Okay.
And I had no idea, and I made bogey. So I was in I think it was a six of us in the playoff, and we played 6 extra holes and ended up being second reserve. I think I moved up to first or something. And so I had that experience behind me. And then I went to do the qualifying for the British Open, and I played really well. And so that was my first full major, yeah. And the fact that I could stay at home, and it was close to my house, so that was pretty cool.
Even better. So how did you fare in that first Open tournament?
I didn't have my best first round. I think I shot a few over, but just the whole experience, like from being there, because in the practice days, I was honestly, the first practice day I turned up and I went to do some putting on the putting green, and I was walking around the putting green thinking, oh, I've seen all these people on the TV. And I was kind of like walking around the edge of the putting green, trying not to get in their way. I was like, hang on, Rachel, you're here to play too.
No, definitely.
So it took a while for me to get used to it, but I learned so much from that week. It definitely improved me in the future too.
No, good stuff. Well, yeah, that must have been quite a daunting process. Obviously, like you said, you've been watching these people on TV, you're probably aspiring to be these people, and all of a sudden you're on the same level playing field as them. I mean, I don't blame you for feeling that way. I'm pretty sure I'd feel that way too.
Yeah, no, I just remember I was in a bunker practicing my bunker shots, and I think it was Christy Kerr jumped in next to me, and I was like, oh. And then
right.
And then Carrie Webb got in between the two of us. Yeah. I was like, oh my goodness me. I better not hit a bad one or something and embarrass myself.
Yeah, definitely. I'll definitely be skimming one out of there. Don't worry about that. Now, One Pod Life is brought to you in partnership with Energy Golf, the leading golf development platform. They are committed to providing a service that allows you to reach your maximum potential by improving your mindset, creating physical longevity, and funding your golf career. What they've done is take professional tour team experience and brought it to you through their platform so you can have your very own tour team in your pocket. Energy Golf offers the ability to learn from leading professionals in the fields of fitness, nutrition, breathing, caddying, psychology, business, as well as proven tour winners and many more. There are also courses based around the mental aspects of golf, such as mental toughness, emotional control, and self-esteem. Visit energy.com to learn more, and to claim your exclusive 1-month free trial, simply send an email with the subject OnePodLife to info@energy.com and enjoy. Now let's get back to the podcast. Well, obviously 2020 hasn't been the best of years for any golfer, but did you, I can't remember, I didn't mean to look earlier, but did you play in any of the Rose Series tournaments this year?
I played in one at the Buckinghamshire. Right. I mean, they were all, because I live up north, and at the start especially, they were all like a long way down south, and there was like no hotels open. So it wasn't really possible for me to go. Although it was a great idea. And obviously I went and played the Buckinghamshire, even though that's down south, just because we have US Open qualifying there, so I didn't need to play a practice round. I knew I could go and play.
It's fine. Of course, so you can just get on and get see how you get on. Okay.
That was the only one I knew, and the others were just a little bit too far away, really.
Okay.
So, but I mean, from the one that I played, it was run so well, and the fact that Justin Rose, put a lot of his own money behind it and his own contacts towards the tournament, it's amazing for women's golf that he supports it.
I'm really hoping, because I think there's a good platform for ladies golf, because through doing the podcast and what I've noticed, there's not much opportunity for lady golfers underneath the LET access to really gain experience. So obviously there are the mini tours, and they're slowly opening up to lady golfers. But I feel that the LET access was quite good for you guys to get a platform and get a bit of, especially in the off season, to get a nice bit of practice in.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, in the off season, I usually go play the Sunshine Tour.
Okay.
Over in South Africa, so that's also a great tour. And then we come back and play either LET or LET Access in the summer. But with lockdown, the Access events and I think LET didn't start until August, September.
Yep.
So we went to South Africa, played an LET event in South Africa in March, and then had nothing. So the fact that we had the Justin Rose events were put on in between then, it kept a lot of players playing, you know, in the break that we had. So that was really good.
Okay, so if you've only played one tournament then throughout, well, you probably not played a few more, but what has your sort of lockdown regime been then if you can't really get out and play golf?
So I set up a net in the back garden. So I hit a few balls into that, and then the neighbours eventually told me off that I was making too much noise.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that didn't go down well.
Okay.
And then we had these like LET, not LET, but a few of the girls from the LET kind of like, we all did these like fitness sessions every day on Zoom.
Okay.
So that was really cool. You got to catch up with everyone. So that was really good. And then a few of us, Laura Murray and Tia from Finland, and we started playing Fortnite every day.
Oh, really?
Which was really good because it kept you competitive. And like, because like you're on like a squad.
Yep.
And even though we're on the same squad, we wanted like between us, we like always had like a competition to see who had the most kills. Even though we're supposed to work together, it's kind of like, oh god, no, you beat me to that person. You know, it was really good.
Good stuff. All right, well, let's get back to golf because that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Not Fortnite. I'm joking. One of the things that does sort of interest me is how different people get prepared for different rounds. So do you stick to the same type of routine before a tournament or each round, or do you have special things and different things that you do every time? And I guess, do you have any sort of superstitions really?
I would say I'm quite a superstitious person.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty consistent. I always tend to get there like an hour and a half before I play. Because I putt twice, so I'll start off with putting, and I have the same drills that I do every time. And then I always get to the range an hour before, pretty much on the dot every time. Okay. And then I'll putt again before I tee off. So I'm extremely consistent. Okay. I would say.
Is that purely just because an OCD thing, or is that just your superstition? No. You must do an hour and a half every time before you play.
Yeah, no, I'm not OCD. It's just like, because I think it started working a while ago, and then I was like, oh, I like this. It works. So I do it the same every time. Like even with the music that I listen to, I think it was in 2018, which is like the start of when I started to play good. I think The Greatest Showman came out, and I started listening to that playlist, and I've listened to it every single tournament since. Okay. Just because like it worked. Yeah.
That's just made me think of an idea. Maybe I should do like a greatest hits, sort of your sort of get yourself pumped up song before you start playing. So, but what is the last song you finish with?
This Is Me. This Is Me. Every time. Yeah, it's my favorite one, and I think it's just such a great song. So it just seems to work.
Good stuff. Hey, if it works, it works. Yeah. Did you listen to that before you shot the 61?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, there you go. It works, doesn't it? Great stuff. Right. I did some digging on you, Rachel, and I come across a very weird talent that you have.
Oh, no.
It says, well, it was on LET Access, Get to Know Rachael Goddall.
Oh, no.
You know what's coming at you.
Yeah. Oh, no.
And your unusual talent, you said you can rap. And your favourite song is Eminem, Love the Way You Lie.
Yeah,
so come on, give us a little, give us a little rendition.
No. See, no one's ever heard it before. Oh no!
How did that come about? How did you actually say the unusual talent was rapping?
Because when you put on the spot, and I was like, I don't actually have any talent apart from playing golf, and that's like, well, in my head, I think I can rap, but I'm pretty sure it's not any good. Okay. I won't let you do it. I was like, I know all the lyrics. Oh, thank you. Yeah, and they actually said to me, okay, have a go. I was like, at the end of season party maybe, but then we didn't have one, so it's fine.
No, save it for next year.
Yeah, I couldn't think of anything else. I was like, well, I do know all the words to the song, so maybe I could say that.
I love it. Good stuff. Okay, right. So we're coming just out of obviously this new lockdown, going to this tier system. And I guess 2020 is a bit of a write-off. Let's wait till next year and see what's going on. So if you were to have a perfect 2021, what would be your sort of plans and targets for 2021?
So I would love to get my full LET card, because I've been pretty close the last couple of years in the Order of Merit, just getting it without having to go to Q school.
Yep.
So to get that would be awesome. Definitely to get another win. And I would like to play in the British Open again, give that another go. So to qualify for that, that would be my perfect 2021.
Well, fingers crossed that happens, because I think we all need a perfect 2021, I think.
Oh, I know. This year, I don't know what to make of it, to be honest.
It's a weird one. Look, I think, thank you for coming on, giving me a bit of insight into yourself, talking us through your 3 wins that you had. And again, congratulations on the 61. I think that's a great achievement.
Next time,
I want to hear 59 though, okay?
Yeah, definitely.
Just going to finish off with the podcast with the reason why I started to do the podcast in the first place was to learn sort of tips from professional golfers who are trying to get to the top of their game. And the premise is, if you were to either go back and do things differently, let's start with that question first. If you were to go back and do things differently, what would that thing be?
Ooh, I think when I first started on tour, I kind of thought, I'm going to have to start changing my game now. Like, I don't know why, but I just thought I'm just going to have to change everything to be able to compete out here. And then I slowly realized that my normal game is actually good enough. I didn't need to change anything. And it actually made me play badly for a couple of years. So if I was to go back, I would think, just stick with what I was doing. I didn't need to change. I thought I needed to hit it further and do all these things. And I was like, I really didn't need to have done that. And it cost me a few years. So I would definitely just play my game. I know that's good enough.
No, definitely. And I think that's quite a common theme, actually. A few people say that, is that people get to that sort of professional level, get on tour and think, all right, I need to change my game and do this to compete. Well, you got there using your game. So just keep doing what you're doing.
Exactly. If someone had told me that 2014, who knows?
Well, great stuff. Well, also what I like to do is, if you could, obviously there are a lot of aspiring golfers out there who want to push on and do what you're doing. And if you could give them 3 tips on how they could actually become a better golfer, or what they need to do to prepare themselves to become a professional golfer, what would those 3 tips be?
Ooh. I think to know your own game. So when you're out on the golf course, especially in a professional tournament, and you start playing poorly, if you know your own game well enough to try and get it round well enough to shoot a half decent score, I think know your own faults. So say if you start hitting it right, know why you're hitting it right, and then your scores will come down. You won't make as many mistakes. So I think to know your own game, I think would be one. Okay. The second one, I think while you're practicing, one of the things that I've learned throughout the years is, like, you should definitely practice a lot, obviously, but to do practice that's competitive kind of. So you do drills, say you're on the putting green, you set up some drills and give yourself like a score to beat, or try and, complete the drill, put some pressure on yourself. Because when you're on the course in a competition, you need to learn how to, because you get nervous or whatever you feel, to put that into practice, then you kind of learn how to either deal with those feelings or know what to expect if you get in that situation. Yep. So I think that's better practice rather than standing there hitting balls on a range for an hour. So
almost like, again, practice with purpose, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Practice with purpose and have a bit of competition to it. Say if you're going on the course with some friends, play for like £5 or something. Yep. And that's a great way to practice, I think. Okay. And the third one, just to enjoy it, just to enjoy the whole experience of playing golf and just try and get better. And forget about what you're scoring, like you do. Yeah. Yeah.
Good stuff. Well, again, those 3 tips are really good, and a lot of the pros are now saying, when I speak to them, they enjoy just to go out and enjoy it. So enjoy yourself playing golf. That's quite a common theme, and I think, especially myself, I get caught up with the whole fact of, I don't sometimes enjoy it. I put myself down too much. So I guess I'm trying to be a bit more mindful on course and go, right, I'm just here to have fun and enjoy what happens.
Yeah, you won't play well if you're not enjoying it. So,
No.
Like, especially if you're having a bad day, it's hard to stand there and think, "Oh, this is really fun." But you look back and think it wasn't that bad.
No. No, great stuff.
So,
Well, again, thank you, Rachel, for coming on and giving us insight in yourself and those wonderful tips at the end. I hope you do get your perfect 2021. And you get to get your full card, and we'll see you on the LET properly one day. And good luck to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me on.
You're welcome, and I'll speak to you again soon.
Yeah, I'll speak to you soon.
Cheers, bye. Okay, massive thank you there to Rachel for coming on and giving us insight in herself and the journey so far. Still can't get over the fact that she shot 61. It could have been a 59 if she hadn't have got that bogey and, like you said, a little lip out on the last couple of holes. But hey, that's golf. But what an amazing achievement to shoot 61. So I hope you, like me, will wish her luck and hopefully get her full LET access card in 2021. And we'll see her push on. Now, obviously, some of you might notice that I've just joined with Energy Golf to bring you guys some bigger and better podcasts in the future, and also learn from their community of golfers that they've got. Now, obviously, it's not just about playing golf in there, it's about, like they call it, career longevity. So if you haven't heard of them before, please go check them out. Energy Golf. You can follow them on Instagram, just Energy Golf. You can also download the app where you can use, and if you follow my instructions, where if you send an email to info@energy.com with the title One Pod Life, you can get an exclusive 30-day free trial to the app. Please go and do it. You won't be disappointed, and you will probably stay for a little bit longer like I have. So yeah, thanks guys listening, and speak to you again soon.